All right, it's another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Golficity. We're going to be talking about another great weekend of golf at Winged Foot, where Bryson took his first major of the year, not of the year, of his career. And we'll also look ahead to the betting DFS picks we got for the Punta Cana Resort and Spa Championship. What a name that is. So let's get into it. It's episode 47.
47, huh?
Hey,
who's
Bud, you want to
beeping?
turn off your messages?
Yeah, please, cell phones off.
Quiet in the gallery. Anyway, 47. I feel like a pitcher. I feel like a pitcher number.
Johnny Cueto.
Johnny Cueto 47.
I slightly looked it up.
Okay, Johnny Cueto. I'm a big Cueto guy from back in the day, so I'm gonna go Johnny Cueto episode. Anyway, Bryson won. I mean, he was the only one under par, and yesterday turned out to just be like, I mean, I had it on like we put a TV underneath our big TV from my room, and we had it on, and it was basically me just rooting for Matt Wolff all day and being sorely disappointed. It was just Bryson hitting green after green, putting it to like 15 feet,
and making putts.
2-putting or banging it.
Yeah.
And then, so it was just like...
I guess the whole driving distance thing finally works now at majors.
I guess. I mean, whatever. Bryson, like everybody says that he drives the ball so far and like this and that, but he's also a really, really good putter. Like, people forget that he's like top 5 in putting this year. Like, if he wasn't such a good putter, he wouldn't be winning these events.
Here's the thing about why the long hitters like Tony Finau, like Bryson DeChambeau, I mean, even Dustin Johnson had a good end of the week. Like, why they finished up there? Because there was nothing in front of the greens. It was just like out of the rough. You didn't have to like carry it there. You could just either leave it a little bit short, get up and down, or leave it a little bit short and roll it up. Mm-hmm. Like, so there's really no penalty for being in the rough for these long hitters
when you're
that they didn't have in 2006.
And like, I mean, a lot of people were complaining that the course was too long and it didn't give any like the shorter hitters even a chance to like play well, which is like a fair, like, they keep making the courses longer and longer and longer to like account for how far these guys are starting to hit the ball. But I mean, if you look at the leaderboard, the guys who finished in the top were all like super long hitters, I believe. So.
Well, I don't know what you're supposed to do about that. Like, if they're shorter, if you make it shorter, it's just more of an advantage for the long hitters. But I guess it gives the short hitters a chance.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to really make a course exactly how everybody wants it, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Superintendents have to deal with that stuff all the time, but it's really freaking annoying. Mm. But overall, like. So Thursday, everybody was like, so what's good with this course being so easy?
Yeah, because you have JT in at like 5 under as the lead. A bunch of guys at 4.
Yeah, people were under par. Like, and you knew as soon as the scores were in like that, the course is going to get so much harder over the weekend. And
absolutely.
The rest of the week.
I mean, whatever. There was some messed up greens. A lot of strategy went into it. I think it was the first hole, actually. There's that the second day, I think they put the flag stick in like the back left, like right behind a ridge. And a lot of guys were like one shot I saw was Matsuyama. I think had the shot of the week. He was on the green. He took out a wedge, pitched it up to that like hill, like past the hole, and it came all the way around in the circle and rolled all the way back to the hole, and he like made it from the
Rory
wedge from the green.
Putted it up there, and it literally just rolled all the way back to his feet. He putted from the bottom of the green. Yeah. Like,
and honestly, I love to see those. Like, I just like to see the people who try to play the strategy, and then the people who just get like screwed by like the putt not making it up the hill.
Zach Johnson's putt was crazy too.
That was awesome.
20 feet
I was
past
watching
the
that
hole.
long.
Yeah, that was so cool.
But
awesome. Some of the other like shots, like you mentioned, like Rory like putting it back down to his feet, like Cantlay hitting the flag and rolling it like 20 yards past him.
That was so unlucky.
That was so unlucky. So funny though. Like I was in the
before
car
and after
that.
pictures. The before picture where it's next to him, the middle picture where ball hits the flag, and then the after picture where the ball is like behind him is just so funny.
Yeah. Oh my my god.
Yeah. I mean,
I love watching the carnage of the U.S. Open. Like some of the shots people are hitting, people couldn't get people sometimes couldn't get out of the rough. Like it's so much fun to watch.
I mean, honestly, the bunkers were your friend this week. If you hit it into the bunker, like I heard a lot of like getting the bunkers this week because like if you hit it in the bunker, you had a better chance of getting up and down than from the rough.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Also, our guy Will Zalatoris showed out.
Oh yeah, T6.
T6,
right?
yeah.
Like, how much money is that? It's a life-changing amount of money for him.
Yeah.
So this early in his career.
I mean, yeah, he'll be on the tour, like at some point, like.
I mean,
I
mean, speaking of another young guy, Matt Wolff, second place was $1.8 million. I mean, he's our age. He should be a senior in college.
Well, and how much do you think he won at the PGA Championship? He finished like top 10 in that too.
He was T4.
T4. So he won another like $1 million in that, maybe a little less.
Maybe a little less, but yeah.
Give or take, and like whatever.
Is he the next young guy to win a major? You think? Like, do you think he won? You would assume after this week he probably wins them before Hovland, right?
Let's think of the setups. I mean, Masters. I don't know if that really plays, but like then again, I feel like the Masters is turning into a par. Someone was like saying that like it's turning into a par 68 for some of these guys, for some of the long hitters.
I mean,
so
I guess.
Maybe you could play at the par. Maybe you could win at the Masters. I don't know, but
I mean, whatever. I wasn't
next
that.
year you got Torrey Pines, the Island course at Kiawah Island, or the Ocean course at Kiawah Island, and you got like Royal St. George's.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
he's in any just because of how far he hits the ball. If he gets hot, he's in any event, any major. He's just like he's not as consistent as a lot of the other guys are. Like
No.
I mean, Victor Hovland's like super consistent, but he just doesn't like he's super consistent finishing like right outside the top 10 or right inside the top 10.
It's Puerto Rico curse.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, yes.
I don't want to say
like
Victor Hovland could be the next Ricky Fowler, where he's just like the most lovable guy, but doesn't win.
I mean, he finished T13.
Here's why I'm not going to say that, because he literally already won in his first year on tour. Just hasn't won the 2 majors he's played in.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Actually,
That's true.
He was a low am at the Masters, but
yes,
and the US Open at Pebble Beach, he was low am too.
Mm-hmm.
He was
double low.
Low am this week was Pac from Florida State.
The AMs didn't play that bad this week.
What did you think of the this is not related to do with the AMs, but Pac was wearing the hat. What do you think of the Nike hats that had the Wingfoot logo all over them?
I liked it.
I thought they were sick.
I liked it.
Not even the hat. Have you seen the shoes? I mean, you obviously
obviously
showed us last week, but the shoes are insane. I think Matt Wolff had the shoes on one day.
The outfits for the U.S. Open are always so cool because everyone's like, some people do like American flags, some people have other stuff going on.
Gary Woodland
was all out.
First day, he had the exact outfit that they put him in on the PGA Tour 2K game.
Right.
Like literally the same exact outfit. And I was like, wow,
also,
maybe he does wear that.
Also, how do we not talk about Captain America, Patrick Reed, like having just one of the weirdest weekends? Because like the first half looked like he was going to win. Second half, he played just dreadful golf.
What, 77, 76?
He was +4 in the last round, and that is actually not a bad score for the last round. Like, I'm looking at round 4 like scores right now. Like, obviously you had Bryson at 3 under, and then after him, Matt Wolff +5, Louis Oosthuizen +3, English +3, Schauffele +4. DJ had an even par round, which was really good. Zalatoris had a +1 round, which was really good. Like +4 is not a bad round for round 4, which is kind of
no, it's not.
crazy.
But he also shot 77 on Saturday though. That
was a weird round.
Yeah. I mean, I had a 10 to win 330 bet on him, and I was like, this might be a pretty big week.
Mm-hmm.
And it still was, but
yeah.
With some of that money from the big week, I bought a Wingfoot hat from just one of those head brand ones.
Oh yeah, those are always nice.
Those ones are money. I have my Shinnecock Hills one up.
I just get the free hats. I get the free hats from the USGA. Being a USGA member, those are clutch. Love those hats. Also, did you guys see that Bryson, after winning this, he's gonna test even longer drivers this week? I think he said 48-inch drivers.
I was talking about this at lunch.
Doesn't surprise me.
Talking about this at lunch today. 48-inch drivers to see if he can carry it 360, 370.
Yeah, every time, which is crazy.
I mean, he's got to have an extra stiff shaft for that. or else he's
he
just going to be so inaccurate.
Well, I think like
Screen
he's
and
still
board.
going to be a little inaccurate. Like I think his whole thing is like, well, his dispersion might
But he
be
can't
worse.
afford to have
his
misses
his
that are like.
dispersion might be worse now than it is, but like his idea is that like if he hits it so long that like he'll be able to like it won't make a difference if he's so far right, but he's like right next to the green pin high. You know what I mean?
He can't afford to have such a miss that takes him out of golf tournaments. Though.
Like
what he could do.
Memorial.
What he could do is take a club out of his bag. I don't know what he would do, and have his driver right now and the 48-inch driver.
Yeah,
I mean, he could, but like
I don't know if he would do that.
I feel like if he has another driver in the back, he's like gonna take the time just to get like dialed in every single week.
I just think it's
like that's the most, that'd probably be the most important club in his bag if he's doing that, because all he has to do is hit it like as far as it can. If it's a little bit off, it's fine, but as long as it's not like miles off target, like he'll be okay.
What if he's like,
I
I don't need a 4-iron anymore. I'm gonna be too close to the hole.
Yes, I could also be
like,
true.
honestly. I just think it's interesting that he just won the U.S. Open, had a fantastic week. He's played pretty well this year. He had a couple of bad weeks after the Memorial, but he just won the U.S. Open, and he's still looking for to get more of an advantage over the field.
Yeah,
It's interesting. Of course,
Which is
he does.
he's always
like,
trying to
would.
change his game. Even
And
after just winning.
You don't like, obviously if you win, you say maybe say like a certain amount of times like to celebrate kind of like take a relax, but like Bryson's life, like his life is golf, and he's just gonna do anything he can just to win every single tournament.
I mean,
probably.
a lot of people.
I bet his goal is to win every single tournament.
I mean, yeah,
like every single one.
A lot of people hate on Bryson, but I don't think anyone in the game of golf works as hard as he does.
No,
in general. I mean, you saw on Saturday night he was grinding at the range,
42 degrees.
Yeah, in the lights
shirt.
on. Yeah, I mean, no one works harder than he does. He's always trying to find an advantage, and if other golfers don't like it, well, you still got to catch up to him. So
yeah,
I was talking to somebody. I was talking to somebody who was like, I don't like how he just seems so cocky. I'm like, well, in his mind, he's just so confident because everything he does is based around math and science.
He knows it's right.
So it's like, if you're a scientist, like he basically is, you're very confident in math and science being an exact thing, like science. So how can you not be confident?
I agree.
If I'm on the PGA Tour, I'm trying to find Bryson like a wife or something. I'm trying to set him up just so he
so he
has
his mind
other
off
things.
golf and
yeah,
a little bit of time off golf. Takes a couple weeks off maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
What if Bryson's in the dating game? I feel like he just would talk too much about.
Nah, he's married. He's married to the game.
Yeah,
he's married to the game.
He like Derek Jeter. He won't get
Literally.
married until after he's done.
He's
golf,
the definition of married to the game.
He really is.
Mm-hmm.
In golf, though, your career's longer than baseball, so obviously
I
so true. Be a while.
It is funny.
I could see Bryson retiring at 50 something, or no, he wants to live until
130 or something.
130, so he probably never retire. Probably never get married.
Yeah, Bryson's just here on the PGA Tour at 80 years old, just still hitting bombs.
Past everyone. Yeah.
Maybe he will actually just get married to the game of golf.
Maybe.
Like Dennis Rodman married himself.
True.
So,
I remember that.
It's similar mind, I guess. Dennis Rodman and Bryson DeChambeau are both crazy, kind of, but
in different ways.
Yeah, very different ways.
So we've talked about who did well, but for guys who kind of just were irrelevant this weekend, Tiger and Morikawa.
Tiger. I feel like it was not known, but a lot of people were expecting Tiger not to play well, which is
I was not surprised at all.
I mean, you had defending champion Gary Woodland didn't make the cut. Tommy Fleetwood didn't make the cut, which I know you were
Jordan
high on last
Spieth
week.
played absolute dog.
Yeah, but he's been playing like that all year, so.
Yeah, that wasn't surprising.
the Brendan Todd over Jordan Spieth bet
easiest money
was
ever.
literally the easiest bet of all time, and I knew it as soon as I placed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and speaking of lawn hitters, Cameron Champ didn't make the cut, which I thought if lawn hitters are gonna play well, you would think he would have made the cut, but he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Justin Rose, I don't think made the cut.
Well, yeah, Justin Rose has been playing terrible all year too, for the most part. Max Homa, that's there's a lot of big names that don't make the cut, and it's usually like that at the U.S. Open. If you have one bad day, you're done. So.
Yeah. What else? Do we want to move into the year in review, or do we have any more on the U.S. Open?
Year in review.
Let's go into the year in review. Yeah, sure, why not? That should be fun.
So, we want to do kind of a year in review right now, like with some of our awards for the Pin High Pod, just of like the golfers and just moments throughout the year. Since I know there's still the Masters, but like this new PGA Tour season just started with the Safeway Open, but like we still have the U.S. Open the next week, so we didn't want to do it then. Mm-hmm. So like pretty much the season's over except for the Masters. That's just added.
And the FedEx Cup is done, so like it's a good time to do it.
The I didn't know this, but the U.S. Open actually counted towards this season's FedEx Cup points.
I mean, it had to.
Yeah, I was just confused what it would do, but yeah, I mean, I just didn't think of that
because it was after the FedEx Cup.
Yeah, I just didn't really think of that because like it was.
Yeah, no, they're gonna have two U.S. Opens on the FedEx Cup points, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
2 Masters too.
So our first one is we actually haven't come up with these. We're gonna kind of debate through
on
them.
the spot.
We're gonna go with the Pin High Pod Golfer of the Year, and I think I'm gonna right off the top of my head name off the nominees.
Yeah,
and
sure.
maybe we'll just list off 3 nominees and we'll put them on the Pin High Twitter on a poll or the Instagram.
I like
maybe.
that.
And we'll discuss.
Yes, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay. Go ahead.
So the first nomination.
Wait, what's like Pin High Golfer of the Year is not like the best golfer of the year.
No, it's not the best
it's
golfer.
like the
it's
guy
not
that
DJ.
it's the guy that we like that either grew on us or like the guys that we like.
Yes.
Going into
so I'd
this
say
year.
number 1, obviously Ches Reavie.
Yes.
That's the first nomination. Number 2, I want to say Harry Higgs.
I mean,
I
I
would
think we
agree with that.
we could throw him as a nomination.
Mm-hmm.
I think
And
number
3 is up for debate.
I
think I'm going to throw Bryson into the
that's
ring.
what I was gonna say. I was thinking Bryson just based on like interactions that we have.
What do you think, Trev? You got anybody to throw into
I
the
would
ring?
say the only one I maybe could put on there was Zalatoris, just because he's our guy. It was our guy on the rogue.com. But like other than that, I feel like interaction wise and just like who we liked a lot, I feel like that's a pretty good list.
I mean, a little dark horse here. Kevin Na had a really good social media.
yeah, and his caddy.
I feel like we didn't have as much.
Maybe
of a-
that should be another award, like Caddy of the Year or something, or like social media
caddy,
account of
that'd
the
be
year.
good.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to think of guys that we really liked throughout the year.
I mean, like based on picks wise, I feel like somebody has Xander Schauffele almost every week. But
Brendan
like,
Todd was every single week.
and Brendan Todd was
Oh,
also
Brendan
every single
Todd.
week.
Brendan Todd was every week.
I think he's over Harry Higgs on there.
Yeah, I agree.
Fair.
Yeah, it's yes, absolutely.
I mean, so let's narrow this thing down to 3 for every.
Yeah.
It's Ches Reavie, Brendan Todd, and Bryson DeChambeau. I really hope the followers don't just pick Bryson DeChambeau because they think he's the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
But-
the best. We should put in parentheses. It's not the best. It's just-
I mean, so let's just let's talk about each of them. So like Ches coming into the podcast when we started the podcast, quickly turned into our guy, and I don't really know why. He just
Quickly
did.
after I just completely just made fun of him for a full like 5 minutes.
Really.
like you were like, yeah,
Roast him
you
and
said
then,
something
like,
about
oh,
like,
Ches, if you want to come on, you can come on anytime. Like, if you're listening to this.
yeah, you said something about like how like golfers like Ches Reavie or something, and then like you just like mentioned his name as like somebody irrelevant.
Yeah, I was like, just like irrelevant golfers like Ches Reavie, and then all of a sudden he had a good year too.
He did have a really good year.
And then for Brendan Todd, I mean, the very
picking
beginning of this
every week.
podcast, it's the RSM Classic and we always
The other one that he won, yes.
the other one that he won,
Mayakoba, maybe.
Mayakoba, yeah,
Yeah,
something like
Mayakoba.
that. Yeah. So yeah, he just like wins these 2 tournaments. We're like, who is this guy?
Mhm.
We're like, oh, it's a guy that like had the swing yips for forever.
Yeah, 6 years.
Yeah.
And then he was number 1 in the points leader for the Ryder Cup, and we're like, okay, this
And
is
then
like,
he's
this is our guy.
Yeah,
finished
like-
off the year number 4 in driving accuracy, and of those 3 above him, he's like he's the first person on the driving accuracy list that's actually like good and like contends.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the other ones are like Ryan Armour and like
Furyk.
Jake Furyk.
Furyk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they don't actually contend for tournaments like consistently.
It's like
And also we picked Brendan Todd. Literally, like one of us picked him every single week.
Oh,
His
yeah.
salaries are so low.
Gonna continue to.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
want to continue
if
to
his
grow.
salaries stay
are
low,
always so low.
I mean, I think we were low key rooting for him, like to win the FedEx Cup at the beginning of the season because we're just like, oh, like what happens if this random guy wins the FedEx Cup?
Yeah.
And like,
And he
I
just
mean,
kept
he kept
going
playing
at it.
well. Yeah, I mean,
He's
he
like
didn't
number
win
7
any
now.
other. He didn't really win any other events, but he kept playing like top 10 in a lot of events. So
Yeah.
good for him. And then there's Bryson.
The
our new-
inspirer of the Boom Sauce T-shirt.
Yes.
That's true. Oh, that's true.
The liker of Instagram comments.
Yeah, did you like that post that
I did. I love that.
I
That was
put-
sick. That was nice marketing.
like Bryson wins, and I'm like, whoa, this is good Boom Sauce marketing
Boom sauce.
for our T-shirt. And like pretty much, Bryson's like attached to social media. Like when he's not playing golf, he's on social media. I think we discussed this a little bit earlier in the year. So like almost all of his posts that I like that when I'm on like at the right time, when I'm on the Instagram at the right time, I'll comment something on the post, on his post, or like on a post about him on the PGA Tour, and I'll try to mention Boom Sauce in the comment somewhere. And he
Dude,
he
if
likes
we got-
most of them. Like
We
he's
gotta
like
like
5 of 5 on like liking like Boom Sauce comments, and I'm literally just doing this so that maybe one day when he hits a driver and like the mic's on him and the camera's on him, he just says Boom Sauce because like that's in his head.
Yeah.
Do you think that he has like his like talent or like his agent in his bio, like for business inquiries, go to this? Because if we could like find an address like of somebody to send one of those shirts to,
Oh, we'll send
and
everything.
Bryson posted a picture in it,
How do
Be
we even
amazing.
like what size would we even?
I was
fucking
literally
send
just
the
thinking, I was like, see like an XXL, not because, but like you have to tailor it to him because it's definitely not in length XXL, but like. But
He probably likes the shirts a little tight.
I mean,
though.
he
like if it,
I
knowing
don't
him,
think
he
he
probably likes it a
has-
little tight.
He doesn't have any like sponsorship in his bio. Like his only like his link is literally to that the protein shakes that he drinks like 5 times around or
Yeah.
whatever. His link is just to that.
we'll figure it
Orgain
out.
Protein shake.
We'll figure it out. If we got him to be in one to get in one of those T-shirts and post it on Instagram, like someone like somehow got the link and he posted it,
I wonder if
we would
could
make
like
so much money.
like I wonder if we could send something to like an event, if that makes sense. Like I wonder if you could like if like
The next event he's at.
like if he's at like not the Masters, I'm not going to say the Masters, but let's just say the Masters. Like what if he's just like at the Masters? Like if we sent something with like Bryson's name on it to Augusta National and like during that week to get there, like during that week, do you think it would find its way to him?
Not like yes, maybe, but not at Augusta, but like somewhere
But
else.
yeah,
yes.
I that's just what
like
came
the
to my
Mayakoba
head.
or some shit. Yeah,
Yeah. Like I think that might be the move.
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Bryson is third on the list because he inspired Boom Sauce and he likes all of our comments. So
Yeah. So let's go through event of the year. I'm gonna
this
go.
one for me is the BMW.
Is that where Rom
I
and
think that's
DJ
where Rom
had
and
those 2
DJ
shots?
had those 2 putts
Yeah.
at the end of the event.
I was gonna go PGA. The ending might have been as good, but like the last like day and Colin Morikawa hitting that shot, I think you could. I think it was between BMW and PGA. You can also argue for something else. I'm not sure what else it would be, but
Trying to think other good endings of tournaments.
yeah.
What
were the playoffs? Like the one that JT and Mark. What was that?
Yeah,
one?
that was the work day.
Workday.
The
That was a
Workday.
good one.
Day. That was a good one. That was really good.
Loki, the Century Tournament Champions, was really good. JT
Yes.
Xander down the stretch.
Yeah, and the playoff, like at the last hole like 3 times or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
crazy.
trying to think of like before the quarantine period. It's hard.
Yeah, the player like the
We've
big
said
Players was
four.
only one round.
We've
Yeah.
said 4, and I think we just need to cut one off.
So Workday or Century Tournament.
I'd rather
Champions.
Century.
Okay.
I think Century.
Yeah. But yeah, BMW with the putts that DJ and Rom made crazy.
Yeah.
PGA with just that leaderboard last
And
day.
Colin Morikawa's shot on
Colin
16.
Morikawa, yeah. And then Century Tournament Champions, I was like, who was it? You was in the playoff with Xander? I thought it was like Patrick Reed.
Might have been.
I
No,
think
yeah,
Patrick.
it was all 3 of them in the first playoff hole.
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah,
Xander
and then
missed
one
a
of
really-
Xander
Xander,
went out.
yes.
Yeah.
and then Patrick.
They played the
Reed-
whole. They
yeah.
played the hole like 3 times, the same
Yes.
hole.
They kept
That was a lot
playing.
of- That was
yeah.
a lot of fun.
That
Mhm.
was awesome.
Okay, so next one is the best personality award. Now since
Harry
we cut,
Higgs is-
we cut Harry Higgs off on the golfer of the year, he just missed the cut. So I mean, we got to put him in this. He's pretty electric.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Harry
trying to think of
part
other
of it.
guys.
Eddie Pepperell.
Eddie Pepperell.
Yep.
Eddie Pepperell. And
Twitter's electric.
who else?
I mean,
even Bryson.
I think Joel Damon might sneak in there.
Ooh, I like
Bucket
it.
hat.
Who else?
I mean, Joel
There's
Damon or
always
Max
been on
Max
there.
Homa's always good on Twitter. Max Homa had
Max
the Twitter
Homa's
roast
awesome.
this
Max
year.
Homa easily because he came out with that thing this year.
The
like,
roast.
The roast. Like that was this
Yeah.
year, so it has to be Max Homa.
Yeah.
Joel
I agree.
Damon's like honorable mention there.
Yeah. I don't mention Joel Damon.
Okay, so we have the Pin High
Guest
podcast
of the year,
guest
so it's
of the year.
between beating the bookie and Jason Sobel. So I mean, we'll leave that
for
up to
us
fans
for
to guess.
us. That's pretty easy.
Whoa. Hey, can't be biased here. We'll let the
I
fans
figured
decide.
a reoccurring guest.
We'll let the fans decide.
By the way, shout out to beating the bookie for the picks last week. Had a great week. A lot of fun. Looking at those and using those on the weekend.
Yep.
So-
those are awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Shout out to him. Thank you again.
Shot of the year,
For
first
coming.
one. It's a mixture of Harry Higgs's like
Eagle.
it's his
Double
80
eagle,
foot-
double
it's-
eagle.
Well, he drove the green and did the horse on his
Yeah.
driver, and then he nailed the 80-foot putt for eagle. So it's like a mixture of whatever
Yeah.
that was.
I like that.
Morikawa
at the
Morikawa
PGA.
at the PGA. Yeah, that's an easy one.
Mhm.
And Rahm at the BMW probably.
With the chip in.
Yeah. No, the putt.
Oh, the putt. Yeah.
Yeah, around the BMW.
Even the other one, the one with the chip in at the Memorial.
Yeah,
That
well,
was very
yeah,
shot, too.
it was cool. Yeah.
That's an honorable mention.
Mm.
Yeah. And so DJ's putt's an honorable mention too.
Well, yeah, but if he didn't win, so it's like
Yeah, he didn't win, but like, it was still like.
And then
Rom's
caddy of the year is between Patrick Reed's caddy for the stuff at the President's Cup.
Oh my god! Forgot about that.
Yeah. What else?
Kenny Harms is one of my favorite caddies.
Who's that?
He's Kevin Na's caddy.
Kevin.
You
Na,
love
okay.
that guy.
Dude,
like,
he posts.
You
they
would
post,
marry that
they
guy if
post,
you asked you.
They post on social media. They post on social media so much, and like I think we could get him on the podcast.
I think
Yeah.
Dewey.
Like I think if we just shoot our shot, like he'll come on.
Yeah, I think Dewey
Dewey's
was
got the Cavs.
gotta be number 3.
What about trap golf guy? What's his name?
Troy Merritt.
We haven't
Yeah.
interacted. He's still got time, but we haven't interacted with him enough.
Mhm.
Wayne O'Drano.
Wayne O'Drano
Next year,
up
he's
there,
he's
though.
on. He's
Honorable
he's
mention.
on the come up. He's on the come
Honorable
up.
mention. He's on the come up.
Yeah.
He's the last one.
All right.
Mhm.
Do we have any other thing? Like this is just what I got to.
Oh, Pin High listener of the year.
Oh, I don't know.
Hey.
I mean, I feel like it's Mike Ryder. Although I don't know, does Mike Ryder listen anymore? I haven't heard from him in a while. Mike,
I would
reach
say
out to us on Twitter if you're still listening.
Yeah.
true.
Oh, T-Cat's up there.
Yeah.
Yes,
Cat.
he listens every week.
Catalano's up there.
Um,
Is there a
Who
third?
else?
Who else?
Is there a third like
there's
notable one?
there's people that like do interact with us a lot, like on Twitter and like in Instagram DMs, but I don't know if I would put them on list.
Not
of
as
the year.
not as like
What about the
consistent.
B-Stone boys?
the B-Stone boys are number 3. Yeah,
They sent
Mhm.
us some nice some stuff, some stickers.
they
or
sent us
whatever.
some ball markers.
Ball markers. Ball markers really cool.
Yeah. The B-Stone boys for sure. Sure.
Mhm.
They're obsessed with Bridgestone for some reason.
I mean, if you want to get a head start on a listener of the year for 2021, start interacting or send us.
yeah,
stuff.
if you start interacting, you get some shout outs on the podcast. Like I don't know, like
Oh, for sure.
I feel like it always happens. We always we're gonna start Twitter fan questions next week since we actually have like Twitter followers now and like interaction. We just forgot this week because we're dumb as always. Yeah.
Anything else? Do we have any other awards?
Pick
that we
of the
could give
year,
out?
maybe. One
Pick of
of
the
our
year.
picks of the year.
I mean,
Oh, pick of the year. Oh. Hmm.
I mean,
hard.
what were
We
our,
just-
win-
we
what
just
were,
have to go
what were
back
our
and think
winners?
Did anybody make a bet this summer or like whatever, like where you actually got? Oh, I think it's Daniel Berger from Trevor.
That was
Burger
it.
from-
It wasn't my
was
pick. It
that
was
the,
DFS.
That was before Daniel Berger.
Schwab. You know what? That was a good pick. That was the first week.
First tournament back, Charles Schwab.
We picked a winner. What other
I don't even know if it's debatable. That might have been the best one.
I think that just has to be it. I mean, that was insane. Like the first event back.
Like Daniel Berger hadn't even made he made a huge comeback in this in like the yeah.
Yeah, this year.
It's easily
much.
that.
Speaking of comeback player of the year.
It could be Daniel Berger.
Could be Daniel Berger.
Daniel Berger again.
You really want to see Jordan Spieth on this list for 2021.
Yeah, you really do. You really do want to see Jordan Spieth, unfortunately.
Who else?
I'm trying to think of who had like bad years.
I mean, Bryson.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of.
You could say Bryson. Comeback player of the year. He definitely put his name out there a lot.
We're definitely
Brendan Todd.
Brendan Todd.
Brendan Todd.
I forget. How do we forget?
6 years in the making. Comeback player of the year.
We gotta come up with a better name for the Pin High Podcast Awards.
Yeah, I mean, we did this. We're doing this like on the go right now.
The pennies.
The pennies.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Maybe.
That's the first thing I thought of.
It's the pennies.
The pennies.
The Penny Awards.
I don't know. That might need to be workshopped.
For now, it's the Penny Awards this year, and then we'll see for future.
Put out to Twitter, see what you guys think, and let us know.
Okay, so I guess we'll stick with what we got now for that. We might have more next year. We'll figure this out better, but.
But yeah, thank you if you've been listening since the beginning, which would be very rare, but have been listening for a while, or if you're new. Let's ride into 2021. Get some more. Let's get Spieth in the conversation. Let's get him firing on all cylinders. Let's get Brendan Todd a major. And yeah, so let's move it. We want to move into the Monday hypothetical?
Yeah, sure, right. Why not?
I came up with it.
You came up with this, so
I came up with this off the top of my head right when you asked like what it was. What it should be this week?
The first time ever. The first time ever when I've like texted it and gotten a response in like less than 5 minutes.
Well, it's because I was talking about this with my boss this morning. How many? I was talking about it about Tiger Woods though, not just me, but like I was like, how many putts do you think Tiger Woods has had in his life? And we were like, it's got to be like way like minimum a million.
Right.
Minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what the hypothetical? How many putts do you think like you've hit in your lifetime?
Well, I've only been playing like consistently since I was like maybe 16.
That's what I was.
Or 18 or 18.
Like 18 is kind of where I've been playing like almost like.
18's the more consistently. 16's when I started like actually really playing like golf.
Is this on the course or is it including practice putts?
Just on the course.
Including practice putts.
You're including practice putts?
Oh, okay.
Including practice putts.
Including practice putts, it's a lot more. Because I putt like in my damn apartment like every day. Like
I don't practice golf.
I answered this question based on like on the golf course. So I did some like whole mathematical equation where like I would like guesstimated how many like rounds of golf I played per like year, like the last like 4 years, because that's when I really started playing, and I came out to like 40, which is probably could be more, could be less.
40 rounds a year.
Well, for the summers. So if you think of like I play like twice a week for 3 months.
This is
like it's hard. You have to think about how many rounds of golf you played, and then think about what you average in putts per round, and then
I'd say I'm around putts in the round total. I'll say I'm probably around 20,000 putts in a round.
So I'm probably only around like. Well, then you have to take into consideration I have way more putts per round now.
Well, yeah. So I was thinking like I per round per 18 holes.
Actually, I'm a decent putter.
For 18 holes, I probably have about. I said like 40 something putts. I rounded to like 40 putts.
Okay, I did.
So that's 2 putts. That's 2 putts on every hole and like 4 3-putts, which it could be more some days, it could be less some days, but I rounded to about 40 putts per round times 40 rounds. and then like there's more rounds, I'm sure, like on top of that. So
yeah,
I, like,
that's why I did. I got like,
and then I did it like times
10,000,
however
and
many
I'm adding
years,
more years.
and I got to like over 10,000 putts.
I used to putt, I mean, I played a ton when I was little too. So like for like during the summers in California. So
Yeah, that's a really tough one to answer, and like not a lot of people answered it because I'm sure
I'd say 10,000.
I'm sure your head gets put into like a pretzel when you just like think about it.
10 to 15,000. 10. 10.
I'll say 20 to 25,000 in my life. Just my putts.
Yeah, so I came out to 10,000 when I was
not just on the course though.
Yeah,
Hey.
not just on the course. Now that number
Not
like
a math guy.
quadruples.
100,000.
Like
maybe.
all of a sudden it's like 50,000.
Yeah. Does that include mini golf? That's a big question.
Ooh. Well, dude, I don't have that many putts during mini golf, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Yeah,
I see how it is.
we average around 20 putts for the
I shot
18
3
mini
under
golf
at the at the mini golf course next to my house.
Really?
You know, the one on Calf Pasture.
Oh yeah, of course.
I
I've shot
wonder if
3
you
under there
did,
once.
you show up in like all
that's
Titleist
that's
gear.
your home course.
Yeah,
Club.
I shot 3 under there with Patrick Metzger.
You should you show up in like full Titleist gear, like Titleist hat. You got your Scotty
You
Cameron
bring your own
putter,
putter.
or Spider
Yeah, bring
your
putter
own
or
putter.
whatever.
One summer I went there with this kid, Patrick Metzger, so many times. I'm pretty sure when I shot 3 under, he shot 1 under. Like we got so good at that course.
We went one time.
You just
years
became
ago,
you just
back
became
in,
course horses.
Back
Yes.
in like early high school.
We should have a mini golf tournament.
We should. That'd be so much fun. We went back in high school one time, and Trevor DeChambeau came, and Trevor DeChambeau showed up and brought his own putter, and we just lost it. It was
Gotta
so
roast
funny.
him. You gotta roast him.
He made a hole in one on 17. It was amazing. It was absolutely electric.
17. Is that the one where you can get it up
Go
to
up top.
Go up
Yeah.
top and it goes down through this like tube?
Yeah, he hit it up top and it went in. It was
Yeah.
so
You know how
goodness.
18 is like a big swoopy
Yeah.
dog leg, right? I
love that
got a
club.
hole in one on that once for a free round on like
Really?
After
From
that.
the guy? It was
Yeah.
the guy, yeah.
I got a free round.
I love that place.
And like I said I got a hole in one and they're like really? I was like, I mean, technically I could be lying, but I actually did.
Yeah. It's right in front of them too, pretty much.
Yeah, it pretty much is.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so that's an interesting hypothetical that is really hard to answer. I mean,
And it turned into mini golf talk.
yeah, and that's what we're gonna come out to.
Pat's not a math guy, so it wasn't his best.
Yeah, it wasn't his best. He
No.
came up
Yeah.
with it, but he's not a math guy. So,
No.
Yeah, not a math guy.
No.
with that being said, do we want to get into betting?
Let's get into betting. So a little before Jeek gets into the course preview, we're starting over. Did me and Trevor tie for the?
We tied.
You wanna do rock paper scissors shoot?
I'll say we play around on PGA.
Oh,
Okay, we'll do that
Okay.
later. We'll do that
Yeah.
another day. We need to get to that.
I could do that
It's been
Wednesday.
busy.
Wednesday or Thursday maybe. I have
Yeah,
off.
I think I could do
I'm
Wednesday.
good when I can do whenever, so just let me know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll have that on Twitch for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. You do need to figure out like your microphone situation for Twitch, but
I need to
anyway,
buy a microphone.
just get like, we'll talk about this later. Let's get into betting. So, the Corrales Punta Cana Resort and Spa Championship. That is quite a mouthful.
Let's just call it the Punta Cana.
Okay, the Punta Cana. Okay, so we're at Corrales Golf Club. I think I read that as a par 70, 7670, which seems very long. But I would guess that there's some kind of like elevation or something there that like makes it like not as long.
Wait, what the hell? And it's par 70.
Yes. So that's what I'm gonna guess. I mean, it's right off the coast. So
Yeah, it's
I
gotta
would
be.
and like I remember those events earlier in the year. We're all like
This
that,
is the only
like-
third event there, right?
Yes. So the background on this event is this is the third time that this event is being played on the PGA Tour, but the years before that, it was like a mainstay on the web.com/Corn Ferry Tour.
Mhm.
So that's
So it's
that's
gonna play
why-
like that.
pretty much. So it actually has some of the highest fairways hit like percentages on tour. Like I think it might be up around 70%. Like of all players hit most of the fairways. So that's interesting. Very wide fairways, pretty easy to hit. Also some of the slower greens on tour. I read somewhere that like I don't remember exactly what type of grass it is, but it's like something I've never heard of. So It's not like the POA or bent grass or something. So like very slow greens.
It's not Bermuda.
It's not Bermuda.
It's
the rough. It's a different strand of grass. I don't know what it is. The rough is like it's there, but like I said, highest like fairways hit percentages like up.
Not going to be put out there.
And it's not going to be wing
foot.
It's
probably a little easier to hit out of than wing foot.
I would think the only thing to worry about is the wind. If the wind, since it's a coastal type of course, the wind blows very hard, and when the wind blows very hard, the scores seem to balloon up a little bit. But that being said, looking at the like forecast and stuff this week, the wind doesn't look like it's gonna be too bad, which means scores should be pretty low. Now, key stats. I wouldn't look into these so much because I think this is just like a scoring tournament. Like whoever scores the best will win. So that's why I went with birdies gained and like birdie average. I think a scorer is going to win this tournament, obviously. And then I would say strokes gained, ball striking, strokes gained approach. Like ball strikers usually play well at every tournament, so it's always a good stat to look at.
Late submission to the Pinnies. Stat of the year: strokes gained approach.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's going to be that might be a dynasty. That might be a dynasty right there. And then the third one I went with is driving distance, just to look at it. I mean, I feel like guys who hit the ball long and like won't be punished as much this week because rough's not that bad and the fairways are pretty wide. So previous winners, Graham McDowell won last year at -18, and Bryce Garrett won the year before that, also at -18. And then on the web.com tour, I just saw that Nate Lashley won. The last time it was a web.com/Corn Ferry Tour event. I think he was under 20, I think. It was like almost 20 under, maybe more. So, going to be scoring this week. So, get
high salary guys.
High salary guys.
This is an interesting week for that. We could kind of do it if you really want.
I mean, let's see who's everybody's picks this week.
Well, you can look at mine. Like mine's kind of a high salary guy, but like
I think let's skip the high salary guys because when we get down to like our winners and stuff, those are pretty much the high salary guys.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so I'll start.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do we want to do any sort of DFS competition this year?
Oh, we should.
I think it should just be the DraftKings lineups that we put on Golf City Bets. Follow at Golf City Bets.
Okay.
Because I think for the most part we pick our guys that we pick in this and put them in those lineups.
I mean, we could keep track of how many points.
It's so much easier to keep track of a full lineup than like individual players.
Yeah, but if we do two per week, it's focus something in the world. It's an idea.
I think full lineups is better.
It doesn't really matter right now. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, start.
So, Denny Mccarthy is my first one. It's 9,600. I was talking about this last week or the week before or something like that. I was talking about how he didn't win, but I picked him one of the very first weeks we did the podcast out of nowhere because I just saw that he's a pretty good player during this swing of tournaments. Like from September to November last year, he was 7 for 7 in cuts made, and sneaky. He's finished the last 2 seasons in first in strokes gained putting.
I actually knew that.
I saw that. Yeah.
So sneaky though.
Yeah, because you wouldn't think.
Scoring putting you're gonna the last year Graham McDowell, great putter, he won.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm riding with the fall swing hero Denny Mccarthy.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Christopher Ventura. Now
Christoph.
I put Christoph.
Such a weird way to spell Christopher.
I don't even know. So what? I put him in my DraftKings lineup like 2 weeks ago at the Safeway Open, I think, and it was kind of my lowest salary pick. Like he was like 6 something or whatever, and he finished T7. So that kind of that's how his name kind of jumped off the board for me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I feel like this is a good tournament for young players to kind of show what they got. I mean, it wasn't long ago. What'd you say?
Are there any players this week that are like real young that are notable? Like maybe guys who just
so this is what I was going to say.
Mm.
This is what I was going to say about Ventura. It wasn't long ago. He was on the same Oklahoma State team as Matthew Wolff and Victor Hovland.
Oh,
he was like the number 3 guy on that team. So
let's go.
So he's a pretty young guy. I think he's 22, 21.
Was he on that show?
He was on that show.
Was he on Driven?
Probably, yeah.
I think I remember him.
Whatever. He was 20.
I need to find Sahith Thigala or whatever his name is, a young guy.
Pepperdine, right?
Yeah, Pepperdine.
Whatever. He's 28th in driving distance last year. The young guys just bomb it. He was 4th in strokes gained putting last year in 2020, which is very low key. Now, like I knew that Denny McCarthy was first the last few years, but I did not know Ventura was 4th in strokes gained putting for the entire year. So that was an interesting stat to look at. I think this is a tournament where young guys play well, and he's at 9,200 this week.
Love it.
Pretty high, but picked him a couple weeks ago in my lineup, and I figured why not pick him on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we'll go right into my picks. That's a guy who he almost picked the same person as me.
That cut out for a second.
Patrick Rogers,
okay.
8,000. I think he's due for in a weaker field. I feel like he's the kind of guy who could like play well in a weaker field and have a breakout week. He's played solid a couple of tournaments last year, including he was top 20 at the Memorial, which is one of the tougher tournaments all year. And he's talk about driving distance, he's 18th in driving distance last year with wide fairways. It shouldn't be a problem at all. And he's 11th in putting, so that combination always seems like it'll work. So then I'll go with my next pick, Will Gordon, at 7,600. 2 top 10s last year. Played pretty solid the end of the year after coming on the Travelers. He's first in strokes gained off the tee this season.
So in his one event, in the Safeway Open, he was first in strokes gained off the tee.
I love it.
But he was 14th in strokes gained off the tee last year. So he maintained. So, but he's first this year, so just keep that in mind.
Out of his one event.
But those are my two guys. I feel like there's good value for lower salary kind of guys.
They are.
You can still go for like one of the higher names if you want to go for that.
I really like Patrick Rogers this week. Like I was also going to pick him. But
That's your guy. You always pick him in these types of tournaments. And Trev stole your thunder there. So
yeah.
So my next pick is going to be Keith Mitchell at 7,600, same as Will Gordon. Honestly, I just know that he's really solid off the tee, and his name just kind of like stuck out to me around that range. He's
Sea Island boy.
He's one of those guys. Yeah, he's one of the Sea Island boys. He's one of those guys that could play well in an event like this. I feel like that's kind of all I gotta say about him. It's more of a hunch than anything.
My second one.
I think the hunch that when you have a hunch, like those picks work out really well. Usually.
Yeah, I don't know why. My hunch picks are very good. Like the guys that I kind of just like throw into my DraftKings lineups are always the ones that like play the best. With like no reason.
My second one is kind of a hunch pick, and honestly could be an early season like one of our guys because him and this guy Rob Oppenheim, he's 7,600, and Tom Wilkinson to me are the same exact person.
Do you even know what they look like? Like if I showed you a picture, would you know?
No, I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't be able to.
But Rob Oppenheim and Tim, one of the two, Wilkinson,
are
the same exact people, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen them in the same place? Have they been in the same pairing?
I'm sure they have, especially in an event like this. I'm sure they have.
No. But anyway, he was T15 at the Wyndham, T29 at the Barracuda. Low-key, he was 23rd in strokes gained approach last year. Kind of, I mean, like that was our Pinny stat of the year.
Pinny.
He's 7,600. He's pretty solid recently. That's what I'm going with.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I like that. But 23rd in strokes gained approaches.
So we all picked guys at 7,600.
Yep.
With our second picks. So.
Yep.
Crazy.
just noticed that.
And then so betting
into bets.
Yeah. So, do we want to go over our bets from last week?
I had a pretty good week in this segment last week.
Yeah. My DFS picks were good last week, but my bets weren't.
I mean, Xander finished in 5th as my winner, which honestly could have been higher. And DJ, like I thought this bet didn't hit, but then I like went and looked at the stats, and DJ was a top 5 American. He finished T6th, and like I think Louis Oosthuizen finished 3rd, so that makes DJ a top 5 American. So that hit.
And Trev had Xander top 20, which was
the easiest. That was the easiest bet. Like talk about like easy bet with like Brandon Tyler, Jordan Spieth. Xander top 20 was like
he was in there the whole
absolute lock. Yeah.
So for my winner this week, it's so tough to pick a winner here because you don't know whether like a top guy's like not top guy, but like one of the favorites is gonna win, or whether it's gonna be Stuart Sink,
Or
but
yeah, just like somebody random. Yeah.
I do like Mckenzie Hughes. Like, I feel like I've just seen a lot of buzz around him this week. He's one of the top D-King salaries. He's just one of those guys that also, him and like Cameron Trimgali are very similar to me. Like, they both score.
They've been very like Mackenzie Hughes has been very like very high highs and like then like kind of low lows this year.
Yeah.
In a
Same
way.
as
But like his very high highs like make him a notable name, I feel like.
I'll say, and he made the FedEx Cup finale. He made the playoff.
Right, yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah,
so
he played well. He played well all year. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my best bet is gonna be Patrick Rogers, top 20 plus 275. I couldn't get him in DFS. I'm gonna get him here. Same reasons Trevor said. Really good off the tee. Really good putter. Wide fairways. He drives it so far. Not so far, but like that's kind of sneaky how that good of a putter can drive it that far. Kind of like a Bryson. Like a low key Bryson.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that a lot.
Okay.
Start off the year hot with a plus 275 bet. By the way, that's plus 275. Mackenzie Hughes is plus 2,000.
Yeah. So my winner, I'm gonna go for Emiliano Grillo. I think I picked him a couple weeks ago. He's plus 2,800. But I'm gonna pick him again. Basically because he's a good ball striker. I think I went through the stats a couple weeks ago. He has some really good stats this year. Somehow. And also he finished T3rd in the Puerto Rico Open. And for some reason, I'm just getting similar vibes from the Puerto Rico Open to this one. So, like, similar type of field, similar type of course. So, I'm going to go for Grillo as my winner. And then my best bet is going to be Will Zalatoris, our guy, top 10 plus 225. I just changed that from top 5 because I figured I could still get the bonus at top 10. So,
fair enough.
Good value.
So, that was better. And, like, this bet, I don't know if you guys been following this, but this bet on the Korn Ferry Tour all season has been money. Like he's finished top 10, like, and basically top 5 in a lot of events this year, and we've been riding that since like for a while. I think like I don't remember. I just remember like saying like because a lot of the times when PGA Tour coverage is over and the Korn Ferry Tour is on the West Coast, they'll just like go right to the Korn Ferry Tour coverage. And I remember just like every time I saw a scoreboard, I'm like, who's this Zalatoris guy? Why is he always like top 5 like in the leaderboard or whatever like that? So like we kind of caught on to that, and we're like, well, if you bet this guy top 5 in every event, like, or top 10 in every event, like he might finish top 10 in every event. And also he finished T6 last week at the U.S. Open, which is a big week. I'm sure Trev's going to get into that a little bit more right after this, but this has been a money bet all year. So
that's what I was saying is my winner is Will Zalatoris, just because the winners for me are just like I look at the board and I see okay, who I like, and then I kind of like below like the top guys is like, okay, some guys I don't even know who their names are, like Thomas Detry, I have no idea who that is. So Will Zalatoris plus 1,400. He played, like Jeek said, he played great at Winged Foot. What, T6 at Winged Foot, he said?
Yep.
Played great there. So and he probably played the best in the field, like this field by far there. So much weaker field, I think, gives a much better chance to win. And I think he's, like Jeek said, he's just hot. Like he's just consistently plays well in fields like this, weaker fields. So I like him to win at plus 1,400.
And also another thing to say about that is he's playing on a sponsorship exemption this week, so he doesn't have stats on the tour yet. He will very soon. He plays very well in the Korn Ferry. But very soon. Like a win here could probably just give him instant status. So.
Now my best bet, I'll go with Mackenzie Hughes, top 20. He's one of the best players. I think he might be one of the favorites to win this weekend. He's in the weaker field, I think, and based off of how he's played recently at the end of the season, he's playing the best golf in the field, arguably. So I think he could definitely finish top 20. I think that's an easy bet. Plus 150. I think I like that one a lot as well.
Oh yeah, I mean plus 150 seems like pretty good value for that.
Yeah.
Definitely. And just to like pile on top of that, like first round leaders, we kind of just like pick guys that we feel might play well early. So Mackenzie Hughes is our first one for the first round leader, plus 3,300. And then the second one we're gonna go with Will Gordon, plus 6,600. I feel like he's a guy who could just play well early on. I don't know.
He gets hot.
You see his name. You see his name kind of at the top of leaderboards early. When he gets hot. So.
Yeah. So that'll be that for the Corrales Punta Cana Spa and Resort.
Can't wait to watch this.
Mouthful championship.
Yes. This event should be sponsored by like a mouthwash company or something.
It should be. I agree.
Like Act mouthwash, Corrales Punta Cana Spa and Resort Championship. I know, but you have to pile it on. You got to make it as long as possible.
Right.
It sounds like a bowl game, like a random bowl
game. The Beef O'Brady's Punta Cana, whatever.
Bowl.
Well, now you're here. We have the Belk Bowl is turned into the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah. Just
anyway,
a weird.
Let's move on to Birds and Bogues. Birdies and Bogeys of the week. I'll start, I guess. Birdie. So my birdies plays into my bogey. My birdie is that I was working this weekend at a event, and I ended up playing in it because somebody dropped out.
Was this a pro event?
No.
What kind of event was this?
Defined pro. It was like
a club pro event.
Yeah, it was just like it was.
So Pat made his club pro event debut this weekend.
Pat's not an amateur anymore. He can't play any more amateur tournaments.
Oh, believe me, I didn't win any prize money. but I shot an 81.
That's for tournament play. Pretty good.
2 birdies on the card, while being just in a bad state. Probably 3 hours of sleep the night before. My friend's 22nd birthday the night before. Had a few too many.
Maybe you should just get buckled before rounds that you play, and you might play pretty well the next day. You won't think about it.
If you play golf sick, you play better. You're focused.
I woke up
locked in.
I had to be there at 7 a.m. It was a 24-minute drive. I wake up. I'm like, okay. Look at my phone. 6:47. I'm like, oh no. I sprint to the shower. 45-second shower. Like literally make like French toast sticks for like Eggos. Like literally eat them like while I'm running out to the car. Get to the tournament. Didn't realize it was 30 degrees outside. Didn't have much of a jacket. I was in a bad state.
Oh my
but then
God,
I go out and shoot an 81.
Made up for it.
What of it? So that was a wild little.
Is that your bogey?
Yeah.
That you
yeah. I mean that it was.
State, yeah.
So those are my birdies and bogeys of the week. Starting out the new season hot.
And starting off your club pro career.
Club pro career, not amateur anymore. Club pro career. My bogeys just I haven't played golf like at all because my friends just recovered from COVID. So hopefully I'll try to play more this week. The other one is that I could not watch much of the U.S. Open on the weekend at all because, part of my birdies because I was in Miami at the Dolphins game. My friend's a Bills fan. But I was trying to watch as much as I could, but watching in the car and like on delay, like people are like texting me like it's like not the same. So it wasn't ideal, but still a fun weekend. And I mean, the U.S. Open, I love. Can't complain about watching the U.S. Open. It's definitely a birdie. So
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So my birdie of the week, I finally broke 80. It wasn't even at my home course, which is kind of interesting.
I don't know how you haven't broken 80 at Silver and Mine yet.
Do you know what? I get screwed on like the 17th hole or something where I get like a 7. So like it just happens. And I think I play that course so many times that's just like in my head that like what I'm gonna do on certain holes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I just like turn it into reality. It's like on the 13? On 13, there's like that tree on the right, and I'm always like, oh, I'm gonna hit it into the tree. And what do? I hit it into the tree. So it's just like one of those things. But anyway, I played some like dog track course outside of Boston. Broke 80, didn't have a single birdie on the scorecard, all pars and bogeys. It's a
good feeling,
round.
consistent.
It was a very interesting round in that sense. Like pretty much just like solid 2 putts on every hole, like just put it close and tap it in. And also I hit some monster drives. The fairways must have been playing so hard or something, because like I had a couple like 300-yard plus drives, which is like not the norm for me. Like, and when I'm like crushing the ball, it's like probably like 280, 290 is like the long like drive. But like I had a bunch of like 300, like 3 of them, like 200. I had 3 drives over 290 yards in one round, which was like crazy. So either I figured something out in my swing, or like the fairways were playing very hard.
I no longer. I'm back to that baby draw. Don't know where it came from.
Yeah, I don't. No so I no longer have the driver yips, which is very good. I was crushing it the other day, and I guess my other birdie is that I'll be playing Granite Links on Friday morning.
That'll be fun. Yeah.
Is that my bogey is that the only tee time I could get was 8:50 in the morning, so it's gonna be.
Jeek's not a morning person. If anybody,
not a morning person. But I'll rally. Yeah, I don't really have much like bogeys this week.
I mean, we've had a pretty long episode.
Yeah, I guess I'm just like busy, but other than that,
the boys have been busy so far. It's been a struggle.
It's just like Mondays and Tuesdays are my 2 busiest days like of the school week.
This is the first podcast like since we've been back at school where I felt like we've actually been like buzzing, just like getting stuff going, because like I've just been mentally exhausted.
Yeah,
but we got a good plan. We're coming up with a good plan for the rest of the like this kind of off season we're heading into, minus the Masters. I think you guys are gonna like some of the stuff we do, some of the guests we get, hopefully. So yeah, does anybody else have anything else? Okay,
no,
we'll see you after the Beef O'Brady Bowl. This
Beef O'Brady Bowl.